Prime Minister expects the US to adopt tariff policy conformable to bilateral goods relations. And later on, Vietnam and Armenia foster traditional ties in YEREVAN talks. Hello and welcome to today's headlines. My name is Dylan Lei and you're with me on the top news of this hour. Now, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm on April the 3rd led a high-ranking Vietnamese party and state delegation to pay their final respects to General Phie Van Don, former chair of the Lao People's Revolutionary Party, LPRP, former president and former prime minister of Laos, who passed away a day earlier. Party General Secretary Tô Lâm also held meetings with Lao Party General Secretary, President Thongloun Sisoulith, and Prime Minister Phie Van Don to honor Phie's contributions. Party leader Tô Lâm announced that the Vietnamese party and state have decided to observe 2 days of national mourning. In other news, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm has written an article highlighting Vietnam's rise to prominence in international integration. In the article, party leader Tô Lâm quotes President Ho Chi Minh's words in a letter addressed to the United Nations to articulate Vietnam's aspiration to be a friend with all countries, expressing a desire to implement an open policy and cooperation in all fields. These words can be considered the first declaration of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam's approach to the international community. The philosophy of combining national strength with the strength of the times has been creatively applied by our party over the past 80 years, consistently linking our national revolution with the progressive trends of the era and humanity's common aspirations. He concluded that the nation is facing a great opportunity to rise, but is also confronted with the immense challenges. The integration achievements have contributed to building the strength and momentum for further breakthroughs. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on April the 3rd ordered the immediate establishment of a rapid response team led by Deputy Prime Minister Bùi Thanh Sơn following U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement to impose a 46% reciprocal tariff on certain goods imported from Vietnam. Chairing a meeting between standing cabinet members and leaders of ministries, sectors and agencies to assess the impact of the new U.S. tariff policy and discuss response measures, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính emphasized that the current situation shows that commercial competition is becoming more intense, more complicated, and harder to predict. In addition to the government's determination and decisive actions in directing the response to the U.S. decision to impose a reciprocal tariff on goods imported from Vietnam, businesses have also implemented solutions to cope, aiming to maintain the growth rate of exports in key industries.
The U.S. is one of the major markets for Vietnam's textile and garment industry. Its exports to this market make up 10% of the country's total exports. The U.S. imposing a tariff on Vietnamese goods will affect the competitiveness of Vietnam's textile and garment products. However, businesses have taken comprehensive measures regarding the U.S. market.
Countries like Bangladesh and Cambodia, despite facing lower countervailing duties than us, should be viewed in the context that they previously benefited from a 0% tariff as developing nations. Now, with the new 46% tariff, it's essentially a 30% increase for us.
In recent years, textiles and footwear have consistently been among Vietnam's main export items, particularly to the U.S. The industry has prepared various plans to adapt production and business strategy.
We have 16 FTAs, and we aim to leverage the advantages these agreements provide as a priority. We consider this challenge a chance for enterprises to restructure production and cut costs.
This affects Vietnamese businesses and American-invested enterprises in Vietnam. Many have expressed concerns about the new tariffs.
The Vietnamese leadership for trying to mitigate the effects of this, and I expect they're going to be negotiating further with President Trump. I still expect that Vietnam is going to be a good place to do business for U.S. companies and for everyone.
the Minister of Industry and Trade has sent a note to the U.S. requesting a temporary suspension of the tariff decision to allow time for discussions and finding a reasonable solution for both sides.
Vietnam and the U.S. are two complementary economies. Their export structures and foreign trade do not compete directly but rather complement each other, aligning with each nation's internal needs. Vietnam's exports to the U.S. primarily compete with third-party countries, not directly with U.S. businesses in the U.S. market.
Tariff pressure is a significant challenge but also an opportunity for Vietnamese businesses to restructure, shift production, and diversify their markets to ensure continued growth.
President of the Armenian National Assembly, Alain Simonyan, hosted a ceremony to welcome Chairman of the Vietnamese National Assembly, Trần Thanh Mẫn, and his high-level Vietnamese delegation on their official visit to Armenia. Following the welcoming ceremony, the two senior legislators engaged in productive talks on bilateral cooperation, focusing on economic, trade, and cultural ties. During the talks, the President of the Armenian National Assembly, Alain Simonyan, and Chairman Trần Thanh Mẫn agreed to increase the exchanges of high-level National Assembly leaders. They also concurred in enhancing cooperation and information exchange and sharing experience between specialized committees and National Assembly deputies in parliamentary activities, particularly in legislation and oversight. At the Vietnam International Trade Fair Vietnam Expo 2025 in Hanoi, a key highlight was the China-ASEAN Expo or CAEXPO introduction booth, offering a preview of the 22nd CAEXPO set to take place in Guangxi, China this September. Even before the official expo in China, Vietnamese and Chinese businesses wasted no time sealing major deals. On the opening day, companies signed a contract for 100 AI-powered coffee-making robots, signaling a strong commitment to high-tech innovation, digital economy growth, and creative collaboration. The China-ASEAN Expo has long been a significant platform for Vietnamese enterprises. Over the past 21 editions, it has opened doors to new trade and investment opportunities. In 2024 alone, more than 120 Vietnamese businesses participated, showcasing their products across 200 booths, drawing an impressive 60,000 visitors. Coming up next on today's headlines, Chau Vinh takes action to address dike losses. And later on, overseas Vietnamese return home to honor national ancestors. In other notable updates, high tides in early April caused severe flooding across many southern provinces. In Chau Vinh, rising waters led to embankment landslides, disrupting lives and agricultural production. Many households couldn't respond in time, flooding homes and damaging belongings. Aquaculture areas and orchards were also affected. In Duyên Hải district, nearly 200 roads and embankments were damaged and over 20 hectares of crops were flooded. A household experienced a power outage due to a fallen electric pole. Authorities are evacuating residents in landslide-prone areas. This year's admissions season reflects employment trends and labor market shifts. With advancements in science, technology, semiconductors, and AI, job opportunities in these fields are expected to grow. Meanwhile, restructuring in state agencies is altering job availability. Therefore, candidates are advised to choose a major that aligns with their skills and career prospects.
For years, the Institute of Journalism and Communication at the University of Social Sciences and Humanities has had high admission scores for Group C, reaching 28 to 29 points. Journalism remains a popular choice, but job opportunities in state agencies are shifting. With ongoing staff reductions, candidates should adopt a broader perspective on career prospects in journalism and communication.
Besides working as a reporter, I can develop skills in media marketing for media companies and businesses.
With the labor market becoming increasingly competitive, candidates and parents must exercise greater caution when selecting a training institution.
Parents should consider career paths and schools and evaluate training programs to select the best fit for their children's future careers.
Economics and management remain popular majors, but competition and AI-driven changes are reshaping job prospects. Job fairs with hundreds of businesses offer valuable insights for both students and high schoolers, helping them understand industry demands firsthand.
Meeting with businesses has helped me practice my skills. If one isn't a good fit, I can seek opportunities elsewhere that better match my abilities.
The semiconductor industry is creating new job opportunities, with Vietnam needing 50,000 workers in the next 5 years. Many schools offer tuition incentives and scholarships for semiconductor-related majors, making it a great opportunity for engineering students.
Social insurance in some areas has adopted a new structure, but continues to ensure timely and full pension and allowance payments for April. In Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, over 99% of beneficiaries received payments yesterday, with cash recipients to be paid at post offices until April the 10th. Vietnam's social insurance assures that the restructuring will not affect participants' rights to social, unemployment, or health insurance benefits. Nearly 50 overseas Vietnamese from around the world gathered at the Hung King's Temple in Phu Tho on April the 3rd or March the 6th, according to the lunar calendar, for the annual Hung King's commemoration ceremony. Part of the Journey to the Roots program, organized by the State Committee for Overseas Vietnamese Affairs and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the ceremony allowed attendees to pay respects to Vietnam's legendary forefathers, the Hung Kings, believed to have founded the Vietnamese nation. As part of the event, the delegation visited historical sites in Tuyên Quang province and participated in charitable activities, strengthening their bond with the homeland. This annual journey bridges Vietnam and its global diaspora, reinforcing national unity and encouraging overseas Vietnamese to contribute to the country's continued growth and prosperity. And as usual, up next, let's have a look at the weather forecast for Vietnam and other locations in the world. And that is all for today's headlines. To rewatch our program, you can visit our website or YouTube channel or download the mobile app VTVgo for more. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.